Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Caitlin Clark gets tons of love from Chicago fans in front of Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark has become one of the faces of the WNBA, as the Indiana Fever All-Star guard continues to be an inspiration for younger basketball players. The former Iowa Hawkeye standout draws huge ovations and crowds every time her team suits up for a game, whether at home or on the road. It was no surprise when Clark finished with a record 1,293,526 fan votes to become an All-Star captain. The game, which was played at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, helped Caitlin to cement her figure as an ambassador for the Fever and women's basketball as a whole. Caitlin Clark gets tons of love from Chicago fans. Despite being out with an injury to her right groin for the Indiana Fever vs. Chicago Sky game this Sunday, Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs to hundreds of fans from all ages who wanted a piece of the All-Star guard. According to reporter Keelan Mills, Caitlin made her way around two-thirds of the arena. At one point, security staff tried to shuffle her into the tunnel, but she kept going. This gesture goes to show why Clark, and not Angel Reese, is the face of the WNBA and one of the most likable players around the country. Meanwhile, Chicago star forward Reese was originally questionable with a back injury, but later was ruled out of the game. This is the second straight game Angel has been out, as she also missed Chicago's game against Seattle on Thursday. Fever beats the Sky on the road. The Indiana Fever, 14-12, defeated the Chicago Sky 93-78 at the United Center on Sunday. The Fever were led by a season-high 35 points from Kelsey Mitchell, a career-high 14 points from rookie Michaela Timpson, while Chloe Bibby scored 8 points in her Indiana debut. The Indiana Fever came out of the gate swinging, leading the Sky 26-13 after the first quarter, backed by 13 points from Kelsey Mitchell, including 3 three-pointers from the guard. As for Caitlin Clark, there's no timetable available for her return following a July 15th injury to her right groin. The All-Star underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week. The team can confirm that no additional injuries or damage were discovered through the evaluations. The spotlight at Wintrust Arena on a balmy July afternoon wasn't supposed to belong to Caitlin Clark. Chicago, after all, had their very own star to support, Angel Reese, the vibrant, stylish, unapologetic face of the Sky, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie, who had filled arenas and fired up fan bases since her college days. And yet, when the Indiana Fever took the floor for warm-ups, the roars erupting from the crowd sounded conflicted. Clark, the rookie sensation, three-point maestro, and cultural phenomenon, had entered the building, and Chicago fans had something to say about it. Cheers echoed from every section, and pockets of the arena lit up with gold and red signs reading, "Clark the Spark," and "Welcome to the Chi, Caitlin." Jerseys with 22 were just as common as those with Reese's 5. And as Clark jogged out for her shoot-around, there it was, a standing ovation, right in Angel Reese's city. A tale of two stars. This wasn't just any game. It was part of a larger narrative woven in sweat, social media swipes, and sideline stares. A rivalry that began in college and followed both players into the pros like a persistent shadow. Clark, the polished sharpshooter from Iowa, and Reese, the gritty powerhouse from LSU, had defined the last 2 years of women's basketball headlines. And now, both were in the WNBA, trying to lift franchises still finding their way. But while Reese had been making headlines for her defensive prowess and rebounding battles, Clark was the WNBA's golden child, breaking records, scoring from the logo, and selling out arenas nationwide. To some, this imbalance in attention seemed unfair. To others, it was destiny. Chicago fans, it turns out, held room in their hearts for both. The game that was more than a game. The buzz started early. Outside the arena, tailgaters and fans mingled, some in Reese's designer collabs and Dior-inspired looks, others in Clark's Nike gear. Conversations were charged with both anticipation and curiosity. "I love Angel, don't get me wrong," said one fan draped in a Sky flag. "But Caitlin, she's changed the game. You gotta respect that." Inside, it was electric. Every time Clark touched the ball, The noise climbed. When she drained her first three-pointer, an eruption, Reese, who was sitting due to a minor injury, watched from the bench in a stylish door ensemble that drew its own set of cameras. But this time, the cameras weren't only on her. What began as a standard WNBA matchup quickly morphed into a cultural moment. On one end, Clark commanded the court with the vision of a seasoned vet and the confidence of someone who knew the arena wasn't just watching. They were watching her. On the other, Reese clapped encouragement for her teammates, her energy just as magnetic from the bench. But the subplot was impossible to ignore. When the camera panned to Reese after one of Clark's deep threes, fans saw a smirk, an ambiguous expression that set social media ablaze. Was it admiration? A challenge? A subtle shot? Twitter, or X, as it's now known, couldn't decide.